Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the METAcast. I'm your host, Michael. Joining me this month is David.
Hello.
Johnny.
Hi.
And Shaylee.
Hello.
Welcome to your very first podcast. And this is a very special podcast because we were recording straight after doing a drunk play.
So we're all
So really,
drunk.
it's a drunk cast.
A couple...
We're all
you
intoxicated.
You could say drunk cast. I've only had a cider. It doesn't really count.
David came in.
You've just had her. It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Cast. Yeah.
Michael, did you have no shot?
I had no shots.
No shot.
The
No
ambulance
shots.
came. They had to pump someone's stomach. They were all really...
It was Johnny.
Things
Someone
got
had alcohol
wild.
poisoning.
So yeah, this is just the wind down, waiting for David and Johnny's blood alcohol level to get to like a legal level so they
Driving
can drive
limit,
home
yeah.
and get the fuck out of my house.
I
Oh,
genuinely
stay.
feel that it would be fun as a game thing to play with blood alcohol readings at the end of drinking a set amount of alcohol
For sure.
over the course of a game. And I don't have one, but
I drank the most.
Gonna look into that.
We can find one. We can find a...
no, but it's not about the amount you drink,
breathalyzer.
Johnny. It's about like your liver metabolism
I'm
and
smaller than everyone. Apparently, of course I've got more than everyone else.
No, you have less.
No,
Less? More.
certain bodies do certain things.
Yeah, exactly. So like, even though you're smaller, you
on-
might have high quality processing
But on average, people
that are bigger.
who are heavier,
Mm.
the alcohol affects them less
See?
by body weight.
I know my science.
No, that means that you're affected
Science.
worse, Johnny, not better.
That's what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Science,
So we
bitches.
all agree Johnny is the worst at drinking.
We all
Good.
agree
good.
Johnny is the worst.
It's good that we cleared that
Thumbs up.
up.
You just stumbled over saying Johnny is the worst at drinking. You realize that? No?
No, I was dropping the drinking bit from the end.
Yeah,
Ah.
we knew what you were doing.
Everyone else
Do you know what I'm doing now? I'm going to check in with the scoreboards.
Segue.
I have finally taken over Alistair to reclaim first place. I'm on-
Sweet Alistair.
I'm on 9 wins and 13 losses. Alistair is in second place on 7 wins and 7 losses.
Which is a much more nice, attractive, symmetrical kind of score.
It is.
The Stanley Kubrick
Yeah,
of
but
scores.
percentage-wise,
He...
Michael's got... No, Alistair should win, because
It's not-
Michael's got... Alistair's got equal things.
Yeah, we know. It's not done by win-loss ratio, though. But Alistair has the best win-loss ratio. Connor is in third place for, like, since forever on 3 wins and 6 losses. Johnny is in fourth place on 2 wins and 13 losses.
It's not going to change.
David is still coming
Ooh.
for Johnny.
Yes,
it's
he is.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
You're not in 7th place anymore, David. You jumped up to 5 and you have 1 win and 14 losses.
What one win will do for you, eh?
Yep.
Also, we
The
added
record
Vanessa.
amount of losses, more than anybody else, but that's okay.
Only because I've played, almost the most games.
Almost the most games. Vanessa is in 6th place with 0 wins and 3 losses. And Shaylee is in 7th place with 0 wins and 10 losses.
Well done.
I'm just so good at losing.
Yeah.
I'm
I
only
should get
one
a
better at
present.
winning, and I'm 4 worse at losing. So,
So, funny story, because we're recording this just after the drunk play, the, time travel, this scoreboard has been adjusted for videos that haven't come out yet. So,
Yay!
only I know
Thinking ahead.
what's going on, and you guys don't.
the beauty of time travel
All time lords. here.
or broadcasting.
Yeah, I think
The
it's
magic
just,
of
I think it's just
broadcasting.
the internet.
Okay, so now what are we going to talk about?
I don't know, Shay. What do you
I
want
had
to
a
talk
good
about?
story. I had a good story to actually say.
Is it really going to be a good story?
I
Yes.
doubt it.
Oh,
Tell us the story. I'll be the judge.
I don't even know
have
if
a
I wanted
hammer.
to anymore.
I have a hammer, and if I don't like it, I'll whack you with my imaginary hammer.
I thought you were
I
And
feel
like.
if I do like it, I'll
If I
whack you anyway.
have a hammer, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna break your knees.
Yeah, I thought you were like being a judge, and you were gonna like
No,
just like
because you do the judge has the hammer.
Yeah, that's what I thought you
Yeah.
were
To
being.
the judges.
I-
The
well,
judge-
it's not called a hammer.
No, it's not.
It's called a
something else.
judge ladies thing.
Judge ladies thing.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
What's your
Tell us
amazing
our
story,
amazing
Johnny?
story.
So you know how my roommate's a bit out there? I've had some stories about my room. Not on the podcast, but just I've told you guys.
You've told us. You haven't told the world.
I haven't told the world.
Okay.
Are you sure you want to?
I do. I don't care.
Do you want to on my podcast?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
Okay.
So
That's not about you. That
secret
question
is
wasn't
out.
about you minding.
Do you mind if I tell the story?
Just go for it.
So
The build-up's been too long.
yeah, I've been having trouble with my sink in my bathroom lately. It keeps getting clogged.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I get a text message from my roommate saying, "Hey, I fixed your sink."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." And then it just a follow-up text after that going, "Yeah, so basically I just pulled apart the pipe under the sink and now you have all the water going into a bowl."
That's a solid solution to the block sink.
So now if I want to brush my teeth, I have to now empty out a bowl of water
Down
wherever,
the sink
just down the shower sink or like my kitchen sink or something else because I do not have plumbing in my bathroom.
I'm just
sink.
going to put this out there, and I want you to understand, I'm not judging you negatively based on this, but you obviously
he judges you negatively, but like
on
Yeah,
everything
you
else.
already do already.
You
regardless.
obviously have the practical ability of a sock.
I didn't do it.
No, you're in this situation and you haven't fixed it. You're just going along with the fact you've got a bucket there.
No.
It is the easiest thing in the world to
Now I
fix
just-
a block sink.
Now I just brush my teeth in the shower.
Oh, well done, Mr. Lateral Thinker, who now has a functionless sink.
Well, because the thing is, I have another person who's living in my house for the week, and he forgot. So we started flooding the bathroom, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot."
You said
No,
we then,
but
not
the point
he.
he started
Johnny,
flooding
the
it.
point that he's making is it's regardless of this
I don't have the tools.
The person
I
staying there, forgetting about it and flooding things is regardless because if you are fixing it like David is suggesting, that wouldn't affect.
I-
David,
Basically,
David should come over in a sexy handyman suit and fix it himself, and he'll be like, "I'm here to fix your sink, baby."
That's just every like Wednesday night roleplay night with you two guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, I have to
would
admit,
be very cute.
I'm not always a handyman in short shorts. It's
Yeah,
just a
you
common
could wear
request.
little-
Sometimes
shorties.
he's a teacher.
In short
Sometimes
shorts.
he's a...
Sometimes he's
Fireman, a policeman,
There's
In
always
short
short
shorts.
shorts involved. But it's at the wrong
army captain,
changes.
army general sometimes,
We're very
Lieutenant
cheap as
Corporal?
well, so we make sure that we change.
lieutenant corporal.
Yeah, we
Ooh.
change the costumes ever so often.
Anyway, Johnny,
Um,
I still think
No, because
you
I
have
don't
the practicality of a
tools.
sock, which now that I think about it, is actually maybe giving you too much because the sock is very useful when faking sex scenes
Okay, here's
and
another
masturbating
thing.
without tissue paper.
and keeping you warm.
Here's another thing. I told
and
Michael
making
this story.
a makeshift fishing net in a river to catch fish.
Or one of those things that you knock people out with if you were to fill it with lead.
Chloroform?
Oh yeah,
A kalosh. A kosh? Kosh.
No.
or you
okay.
just fill it with batteries or doorknobs.
But who's dumb enough to just go, "Oh, I'm gonna fix the sink. I'm gonna pull out the pipe."
No,
See,
that's
that's
the
what
kind
I
of
mean.
thing I
Who
can imagine.
does that?
I would
Johnny's
do that
roommate.
to someone as a joke.
No, but he's
And not
serious.
tell them. I'd be
He's-
like,
he's like,
"Hey,
no,
I've done this
fucking
thing,
fixed-
not
I
tell you
fixed
how
it."
it's fixed.
He thinks that's fixed. That's not fixed. It's making another problem. Right?
Which you have now not fixed. Even
No,
like
because
why?
I've been busy.
You know whose fault it is? It's your fault for having a block sink in the first place that you let someone else fix.
No, because I didn't have the money to buy a Drano.
No. It's your fault for having him as a roommate.
Yeah, sure. That's a big. Okay, so speaking about socks, there's a guy who's been living on my couch for a week and he didn't have enough socks. So he says, "Can I borrow some socks?"
Which is not something generally lent out.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Socks are sacred.
So I gave him the socks.
They
He
are for
goes-
you, Shay.
He goes,
Mm.
"Are these the ones you have?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "They're not very comfortable." I'm like, "Well, I'm giving you my socks." and he goes, "Do you not have like those sports ones that come down and they're not very long?" I'm like, "No." And he goes, "Well, what happens? I'm wearing shorts. Now they're really long
Look
socks.
like a dickhead.
Now I look like a dickhead." And I'm just kind of like, "How the
You're
fuck's
the one
that
who
my
hasn't
problem?
got socks.
You're the one who's borrowing my socks." And he goes, "So do you not have any other ones?" I'm like, "No, I only buy the one type of socks.
Because you only wear the one set of clothes.
I
Like, you
always
should
wear
understand.
pants. I always wear pants with my jacket and some form of nerdy shirt, and that's it."
I have to say, it's well done for having a uniform.
I
Steve
have,
Jobs has a uniform.
Yeah.
Obviously.
had.
Christopher
Although,
Nolan
let's be honest,
has
he
a
probably
uniform.
is wearing the same clothes every day now.
I don't have to worry about.
Oh snap!
Dead joke.
Was he cremated or was he buried? Do you know, David?
I
Why are we
I don't
talking
know,
about it? It's
but
too
it might be an
depressing.
afterlife joke as well.
All right.
I think he's buried.
I'm going to steer this away. Johnny, you said you like to wear nerdy t-shirts. I was going to tell you guys a story off air and forgot of the worst pop culture t-shirt
Oh, I remember.
I have
this,
ever
yeah.
seen.
You
I
started this
hate it.
conversation.
I
Yeah.
hate it so much.
I don't know what you're talking
A
about.
lot of the time, it's just like, oh, pop culture mashup. Let's just put Mario and Tron together.
And it's got nothing to do with it whatsoever. Yeah.
And it says, I fight for the mushroom instead of the user on it.
That is.
That's the kind of stuff that they do.
Although
Like,
that's
what-
better because that feels like a drug joke as well. Like a third layer in there.
I don't
Yeah,
think
or
that.
it
Like,
says-
You were on mushrooms
I don't know.
playing Mario
May-
while watching Tron.
Maybe it says, I fight for the princess. I don't know. I'm making this t-shirt up. But they are 90% of the t-shirts out there. If you look at those t-shirts of the day sites, they're like this. But this one came up like yesterday and it just took the cake. It is a Final Fantasy VII t-shirt. But can you remember what the Sin City poster looks like?
yeah.
Poster for
Vividly.
Sin City?
Like black
with
and white. With
Black
the
and white.
characters.
It's raining. It's got
They're
Bruce.
just, like standing back to back, basically. It's
No,
very-
just Bruce Willis
Is
Oh,
it-
that one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
holding his revolver.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
down at his hip. Yeah, rainy, stormy. Then the red Sin City logo at the bottom. You can
Yeah.
imagine that.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Now picture Cloud holding his Buster Sword in the rain, black and white, and the red text in the same font. Do you know what that font says?
Final Fantasy.
Nope. Guess again. It says remake.
What?
It says remake. That's it.
I don't understand the picture.
They have
That's-
just announced about a month ago at E3 that they're doing a Final Fantasy VII remake. And that is what that shirt says.
That's fucking awful.
That's just tasteless.
It's so fucking terrible.
It's that
You know
funny
what?
thing though with these things where you go like that noir picture of Mario or things like that. That's awesome. Where or hard boiled, you'd probably class that Mario picture as, and that's cool. But this isn't, and it's because it's too specific.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem with doing.
It's
like
two it's two mashup things, isn't it? Isn't it nicer to just be like, oh, but what if it was
what if Mario was noir or hard boiled, rather than going, what if Mario was Cloud Atlas?
Or Bruce Willis.
What if Mario-
Sin City?
No, I prefer that idea. I like
Where
the
did
idea
you
of going,
bring-
what if Mario was actually Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis.
Think
in
about it, he does a
Mario
lot of
Kart.
Bruce Willis,
He could
like
be the
height of Bruce
Terminator.
Willis
I
stuff.
just
Be
want to
like,
know
I'll be
what's Cloud Atlas got to do with it?
He just made it up, honey.
It's kind of hard boiled. It's
Okay.
kind of noir-y hard boiled. It's not. It's probably a bad example.
You know what? I like shows like that
Yeah.
that are clever. So I saw one when I was at a con, and it was Link sitting on a park bench, and it was Link in park.
No, that's
no.
not clever.
I thought that was funny. No,
And
I have a lot
therein
of.
where is the reason that is not.
That you are
Isn't
the exact
that a
example
state the obvious shirt?
of
I
why
like-
we didn't
Because
like
it's
it.
Link in a park and Linkin Park
You
is
like-
a band. Is that what it's trying to do?
Yes.
Mhm.
But it's that's like 8-year-old humor. They've got past the point of re-asking the Ride of the Chicken Cross the Road joke with different reasons that none of them are funny. They've got past that and they've gone, oh, you can play on words. No, like you can play on them. And then they tell the joke to someone and they're like, yeah. Like, no, but it's a play on the words, right? It's
And
funny.
they spell it out, and then it sucks.
Yeah. That's what that is.
Anyone see the it just got released today, I think. Or like it wasn't released today, but like, viral today. Where it's illustrations of Disney characters and it looks like it's real life.
No, I haven't.
I feel like that's been circulating for a while because I'm sure I've seen it, but not today.
It was on BuzzFeed this morning.
So it was probably on Reddit like earlier in the week.
Oh, you got to bring
Probably.
BuzzFeed onto this podcast.
Yeah.
like last
I
week or
know.
last month or
After
last
we were just
year or
smack
something.
talking 'em?
Something like that.
That's true. BuzzFeed can sometimes just like.
Take it from someone else to the internet.
Regurgitate.
Yeah.
Well, they always
Reddit front
regurgitate
page.
stuff, but it can be like it blows up on BuzzFeed, but it's actually been around for like really
Mm.
long, like a year or something.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of things where
I haven't seen them at all. I've seen the Mario face that they've done where it's like realistic skin textures
Mm.
with like paws and stuff, but it's like
Oh yeah,
got the proportions of Mario still, and it's horrifying.
yeah. No. It's
absolutely
just like
horrifying.
illustrations. Like they look real. Like
Okay.
Of
Like, they're really
the
good.
princesses.
no princes. of the men.
Of the men, of the
Ah.
dudes.
Maybe I haven't seen it then.
Okay.
Because I've seen princesses.
Yeah,
Have you seen this, Shaylee?
Have I seen the princesses?
How you doing over there?
Welcome to the
You getting sleepy?
drunk.
Yeah, I'm
drunk
sleepy,
hosts.
but I don't understand the things you're talking about. So when I do understand, then I will talk.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
This is your first ever podcast. What do you think we're going to talk about?
I know you can talk about nerdy things and
Yep.
things I don't get, but we should talk about I don't know.
You don't know?
'cause I like politics and I like social issues and I like things.
I don't feel like politics or social issues are the thing to talk about when
You
you're
talk about
drunk.
games and movies. Can we talk about Avatar? We watched Avatar
We
last night.
did
and
watch
Avatar
Avatar.
is not Pocahontas.
Yeah.
I just want to say that.
Thank
It's
you.
not Pocahontas because there's lots of different things.
Yeah.
There's a tree in it.
That is a well expressed point.
It's
No,
true.
I'm serious. I read on the internet that it was the same movie, right?
No, it's not. It's Fern Gully.
It's a mixture of Fern Gully and Pocahontas.
Actually, Fern Gully makes more sense
It,
now
like,
I think about it.
It is a lot more.
Honey,
like Fern
I'm
Gully.
sorry, but I think I spilled cider on your couch.
Oh no.
Because I can feel wetness and it's not me.
Oh,
Johnny.
See, the thing is,
that's okay.
it's one of those situations where if Shaylee did it, it's okay. But if it was me,
Yes,
I'd be
because
dead.
Because I'm a
Yes.
girl and I'm cute. I get away with things.
and
Anyway,
this is also her house.
True.
the thing is that
That's a very big difference.
I like
Variable.
Fern Gully. Fern Gully was a good movie, but I forgot how nice Avatar was as a movie. And it's got all the monsters in it. And it's not Pocahontas. And
Just people saying it's a rip-off of Pocahontas or it's a rip-off of Fern Gully. It's like
No, it's not. Obviously,
it
in either
isn't.
case, It's-
They consciously like the plot is consciously inspired by those two things.
yeah.
yeah.
And to the point where you watch the special features and they're like yeah, the Pocahontas moment here.
Which is fair because that's how you make anything, really, isn't it?
It's also fair because like Pocahontas is a historical event. Like she is a real person.
Mm.
And the Americans, like the British coming to America and like killing all of the Native Americans was a thing that happened. And so to make a movie about a culture going to another like
Place.
seemingly less developed culture and murdering them for their land or whatever is a very common story.
Mm.
And it's not just like, oh, this is the same thing or oh, this is just a rip-off of this.
And it's important as well to kind of get, I guess, political. It's important to revisit things that have happened and not just say, oh, well, that's done.
Yeah.
it's over.
Avatar
Let's look at
definitely brings
humanity.
it to the forefront of being like, this is what we're doing now, and this is where we like science fiction,
Yeah.
where it's like, is it going to go this far? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Are we going to change as a
It's like all the
human
conversations
species?
going on at the moment between, the great minds, Musk, Hawking.
There's been a
About AI.
lot of talking about AI
A
recently.
lot of AI fear, in
where
fact.
everyone's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, it's just like, yep, Terminator came out, and everyone's like, yeah, AI, they're going to kill us all again.
And
out of
now they're like,
nowhere.
let's
I'm
do
pretty
it.
sure we're all going to kill ourselves instead.
Are we?
Because we made AI, and if AI kills us, well, we made it, so it's our responsible.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're saying that, like, oh, making robots, they're going to, like, turn against us. Which is crazy for them to just be like, oh, yeah, this is what I've predicted because I'm, like, a source of knowledge on this subject. Even though it's like, yeah, but nobody knows how to
Maybe
create
AI could be
the
really
singularity
nice.
of, like, artificial intelligence, of computer consciousness. So it's like, without that knowledge of how to create this, you can't, like, at all... Like,
That's exactly-
accurately predict
That's
how
exactly
they will
what
act.
the future humans are going to have to send back someone to convince us is not the case.
Anyone seen that movie Ex Machina or whatever it is? It's a new
Not
movie.
Ex
Yeah,
Machina, I
Ex
believe
Machina?
it's
Yeah, that's
pronounced.
it.
I always thought it was pronounced
really?
Ex Machina, but it's it comes from
It's
the
got in the-
Latin Deus Ex Machina. Apparently, that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah,
Oh.
anyone seen it? I just watched it the other week.
Because there's like the game Deus Ex, and then there's like Ex Machina, like Appleseed.
Because it's God in the machine.
Yes, God in the Machine
Yeah.
in Latin.
So it's all about AI and just kind of
So
testing.
Ex Machina would just be
Yes, I
in the
know
machine.
about what the movie's about. Yeah, where
Watch
it's like,
it. It's good.
I will.
I have something to say.
Yes,
It's a different topic. Can I?
that's
Can I
okay.
say it?
If none of us had seen the movie besides Johnny, he can't really tell us.
I was
going to
say more AI stuff, but we can come back to that.
We
Yes,
can
Sharon.
come back
No,
to it.
it's
Go
just
for it.
that
What's up?
when I think that like I don't understand why the poor lion got killed this week.
Oh yeah.
The-
'Cause men
the
be
friendly
evil.
lion. I don't understand
Men be
hunting.
evil.
Do you understand hunting with animals?
Well, he wasn't hunting.
I feel like if you're gonna kill an animal, it needs to be for like food, if for survival and not for leisure or sport. Like it doesn't
Well, it
make
can be
sense
for
because
both.
if you killed a man for sport, it would be bad and you go to jail.
Unless you're on a secret island.
I think the thing is with hunting is it can be both a thing for sport and for food. Like you can enjoy the act of hunting,
Yeah, if you
and it's got to be.
eat
It's not necessarily worth it for hunting. Like there's a lot of effort that goes into hunting, and if you were to do it in like a calorie basis, you might spend more effort hunting than you're actually able to capture. And so that's why you do it. You enjoy it because you enjoy the taste
Don't
of
worry
Yeah,
about
but
whatever
I
you're
mean,
hunting.
We
I
can
just
talk
mean
about
I don't
what
mean
it's
like
looking
deers
like
and shit.
on
I
the
mean
audio
like
thing.
giraffes and
Well,
elephants.
there is
Who
no
eats
point in-
giraffes or elephants?
But you also don't hunt those things. Like this guy didn't hunt the lion. He paid someone to get the lion out and then he shot at it. That's not hunting. Because hunting
But that's what
infers
all-
skill.
but that's
It's a
what
battle
most-
of wits between you and
Well,
the
that's
animal.
like the difference between hunting and poaching. But the poaching is like mostly what the hunting is. It's just like let's shoot African savanna creatures with a rifle
Yeah.
from a jeep. And then there's the
Because-
other kind of hunting that like lots of Americans like to partake in,
fuck
where
off
they
and leave
go into the
elephant
bush
alone.
and they've got like a dugout little kind of bunker that they can like have their rifles out, and then they need to like sit there for fucking ever waiting for like birds or deer or
Kind of
whatever.
like fishing in that way, isn't it?
I think so.
Or
I
you can,
like
or you
fishing.
can like track a deer.
Well, Shaylee, to blow your mind, isn't fishing just fish hunting?
Yeah, but I eat the fish, and the fish is for my food.
Yes, it is. That's
I don't
true.
just kill the fish and go,
But-
take a picture and throw it back.
A lot of like
Anyone-
Americans that do hunting like as family, sort of like father-sonny stuff, and like there's sort of like a big tradition of it in the US. They will like eat the deer or whatever that they.
yeah.
I like deer.
It's a soup-
Venison's beautiful.
Do
It's
you know-
yummy.
There was a photo of Steven Spielberg when Jurassic Park came out of him posed in front of one of the dinosaurs, dead, and then it kind of started circling around the internet, and I was like,
Mm.
how dare he kill such an animal, but it's a puppet.
But why? How did people get convinced that it was actually a real animal when it's a dinosaur?
Yeah, no, they were just like, oh, how dare he? Because, you know, it looks fucking real. Like,
Yeah, but you see like a triceratops and you're like, yeah, I don't think he killed a triceratops because.
How could he do that? They're endangered.
How could they do? How could he do that? What kind of time machine gun does he have?
The one for that shitty TV show he did, which was set back in with the dinosaurs, with that group of surviving humans.
Wait, did he do
Home
that?
Alone?
Where they had to like they were in the future, but they're like, no, we have to travel.
Yeah, back to like
Terra Nova.
Terra Nova, that's it.
Mm. Also had the Colonel from Avatar in it.
Yes, it did. When I say he did it, I'm sure it was
Executive produced.
executive produced.
Yeah.
Not
He executive produced a lot of
It
stuff.
does.
He does.
essentially everything.
But pretty much Steven Spielberg is the executive producer of this podcast.
Like it's by 6 degrees of separation. It works out. That's what's going on.
Basically.
Just briefly, I'd like to return to the AI topic. Just briefly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just briefly.
Yeah.
Just to lay this out there, right? Because it's really easy to talk yourself both ways on it. Because you go,
Mhm.
oh, well, we don't have AI. And AI that we have isn't intelligent. It's just
It's not
a bunch of algorithms.
It's not actually artificial intelligence.
No, it's a bunch of algorithms that, based on actual knowledge, can work things out by like drawing lines.
Yeah, because it was sort of like I will just butt in the differentiation between this is a robot with artificial intelligence and just it's a computer just with an advanced piece of software is like voice recognition. It's like this is just we have programmed every sort of phrase / question into the sort of Siri thing. So when I ask this, it can recognize the words and search it with an algorithm.
Yeah, and in the
And it
case
will
of the Google
produce it.
version of Siri, or even
I don't know-
Cortana, I
I
think,
don't know a lot
it
about
is
it,
able
but
to expand its understanding based on manual corrections that you make and by also showing you results. And if you respond to those results positively, it goes, oh, well, what you said does mean what we showed you.
But which, again, is just a clever algorithm.
It's a
of
clever
going
algorithm.
the same
But-
as like when you have autocorrect on your
But
phone.
if you think about it, that's
and
what's
just goes,
going on now.
He's
And
typing this
yeah.
word a lot. I'll recommend this to be higher up in the queue of...
But the thing is, with the fear of AI, there's like the angle that, oh, if it gains self-awareness, it'll do this. But also, as we give power to these, we're going to call them AI for the sake of conversation.
Okay.
Even though they're not AI, they're still making decisions based on what makes sense to their algorithms.
Mhm.
It's theoretically possible you could still end up in a Skynet scenario because of an algorithmically correct decision.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many times I've texted someone and Siri's fucking me over by saying the wrong word.
Well,
All
That's
right.
Siri trying to help you out.
Skynet.
there.
Skynet.
Well, that's because Siri's pretty crap, and like Cortana and Google now or whatever do it a bit better. But if you really want it to be accurate, just use your
type
fingers.
it.
Just
Just
use your
type it
fingers.
and then read it before you send it. But yeah, all these
I could
people like
see-
Musk Hawking that are afraid,
Mhm.
they're not talking. They're going, well, we're getting better. We know, even if it's not in 50 years, at some point, we as humans will do it,
Mhm.
or we'll get close, and that could be just as bad. So we need to have the conversation.
Because in theory,
now.
like a working like humanoid robot that is running on software that isn't necessarily true AI, but just something really close to replicating it, is still as dangerous.
Yeah, or could be as
or could be a
dangerous.
risk like that.
Or even
Um,
we get to that point, that's too late for us to, as a society, go, well, hang on, okay, we've got that, and we're now at the point where we might actually be able to digitize a human brain, or whatever it is that happens. Now let's start talking about morals when we've got the technology?
Yeah.
Or do we talk about beforehand?
You set a precedent first and
the
stuff.
decision that's been
Wasn't
made.
Stephen Hawking saying like we should not be sending things out to the universe because if we find, an alien or something like that, they may not be nice, and then he just sent out another drone or something like that out of space.
Really?
I
Yeah.
don't know how much of that whole thing you said then's true, but I can imagine seeing that as the quote
I
at
can
the beginning of
imagine
a
him-
horror film.
I can imagine him saying that because, like, in theory, when you look at just like the math
yeah.
of the amount of planets and stuff like that, and it's like, well, if you're looking at us evolving this way by just being like, oh, this is the combination of events and ecosystem, blah 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 blah, atmosphere that made us evolve like this. There are so many planets out there that there are like billions of potential planets that could support life exactly the same as us, or something radically different where it's like in sci-fi where they're like, what if they're silicon-based life forms instead of carbon-based?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. So it's like just the probability of there being alien life out there somewhere is hugely high when you just look at the math.
It's both infinitely high and infinitely low
Yeah.
due to the beauty of massive amounts of
Yeah, totally.
possibilities.
So just chucking out things like I think that was actually, isn't that like the idea from Independence Day or something?
I think so.
That
That's what I'm saying.
sent the message out.
You can really imagine that as like the opening
Yeah.
black screen to a horror film of, should we really be reaching out if we don't want them to reach back in?
Yeah, it's like
boom,
what's
boom,
going to come
boom.
back in? That's the tagline.
Yeah.
And then they just found a Earth 2. You hear that?
Don't say that.
It's not an Earth-
Don't make
it's
yourself
not
sound
an
like
Earth
an idiot.
2.
But they're like,
They found
Right.
another planet.
Go and
They found
watch
another
Crash
planet.
Course Exoplanets before you even say anything.
I mean, they
Now.
found a.
Calm down, David. So yes, Johnny, you're going to rephrase. It's not an Earth 2.
It's a planet
yes.
that has very similar
Mhm.
environmental
Is likely to have
circumstances
Yes.
that could likely have life forms like humans on it.
overstating it.
Michael, I think I'm going to go to bed now.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
I'm sorry to
Um,
fellow listeners, but
I do know what you're talking about, Johnny. I did hear that also, but there's also been one of those for like once a year for the past 10 years where they're like, we found another green planet with
Yeah.
trees, assumably, and water that is like water.
But those are just assumptions based on, it's in the correct zone. It's probably
From
of the
what we
correct
can see
size, it's
from-
blah, blah,
From
blah,
what we
blah.
can guess,
telescopes.
yeah.
But then also it's just like, oh yeah, but like, you know, the level of like where our solar system is just shit. And so it's like we will never be able to travel to those places.
It would be great if there was this thriving international economy between everyone else and they know we're here, but they're like, no, they're a bit far.
They're a bit far.
Yeah, it's just
Like-
a bit far.
That could be that's a very like that's a pretty likely thing that it's like if they are such a highly developed sort of like species like us, but further where they have interstellar space travel, they would look at how far we are away because our solar system is really bad.
We are in the arse end of the galaxy.
It's really sucky. Like we have like there are other solar systems where it's like, oh yeah, the next solar system over is like the distance to Jupiter. But ours is like, no, it's fucking bazillion million.
Well, yeah, it's like the closest star is 4 light years away, but that star don't have shit.
And what's 4 light years when you're not moving at the speed of light?
Yeah.
You know, it'd be
Like
interesting.
thousands and thousands of years to travel there. So it's like they're just sitting there being like, yep, we're you know, we're colonizing planets, we're moving out, you know, mining planets for resources.
Oh, sure, it's taking us 100 years to when we want to grow to another solar system. It takes us 100 years to get there, sure. But
That's cool.
we're then able to communicate between the two in a year or whatever it is.
But then they see us and they're like, it'll take like 1,000 years to get there. Fuck that.
And then when it's going to take years and years and years to communicate back and forth, like we won't even know if it's succeeded.
Yeah, it's like
What
really,
we can tell, they don't appear to have anything that we want.
pretty much it's basically like looking at like if they were the aliens and looking at Earth and being like, do I want to move there? And it's like you look it up and you're like, well, I know that they don't have proper internet. I'm gonna have to get like
the
3G wireless internet because they don't have ADSL like internet
It's like
at least.
it's just like the
So
aliens
why
are
would
looking
I
at
move
us and they're
there?
just like, the education system isn't flash. Do I really want to move
It's
to
not
that
even
area?
It's communication. It's like, yep. Like, because imagine they have an internet that somehow like spans planets.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they've got like interplanetary servers of an internet
Yeah.
that has just so much crazy alien porn on there.
They're just like,
and then they're like,
I'm gonna look
I'm
up
not going to
Klingon
be able to
porn.
access this.
Or if I am, it's going to be 100 years out of date.
Yeah.
or it's gonna be
Fuck
like,
that, man.
it's gonna be fake. They look up like alien porn and they're like, it's not. It's from a
Oh,
movie.
it's like some white girl wearing a mask.
yeah. It's like,
And
this
she's
is,
got like a tail stuck up her ass.
That's not really.
That's just not,
it's not really
that's
porn.
it,
It's
is
just
it?
a girl from Comic Con.
So, speaking of attractive women, no, not really. Speaking of Johnny, you were talking about those crazy dumb hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Hypothetical, the good old like green alien chick from Star Trek, or like whatever alien that like is in movies, and it's like, oh yeah, they're just blue women.
Yep.
Yeah.
Naked, usually.
Naked blue
like
women.
skin suit.
Yep.
Naked. Yep.
With 3.
You would be happy to sleep with an alien?
Would I?
Based
think-
on what you said earlier.
I think she'd have to have a pretty nice personality first.
Oh.
That's the
Ah.
bad kind of answer. What about you, David?
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think I probably would. Just from like looking at it from the like perspective of the human race, it's like
I'd be willing to experiment to know if interbreeding is possible. I'd be willing to find out for the human race. I'd make that sacrifice. I would.
oh, but what if you had like weird, gross, just fucked up babies? Because you
Isn't
look
that
at like
I'm not going to engage with that.
Isn't
I
that
was
what
just
just
gonna say,
David
like-
would have with a normal human being?
it's pretty
Oh,
unlikely. Shush, Johnny.
drops the mic.
I was trying to bring it back to science and say like
No.
you look at every species on Earth, out of all of them, there is like what is it like? There's the donkey and the
Yeah.
horse that can make a mule,
Yep. But then it's sterile.
and then it's sterile, and that's the only natural one, isn't it?
I feel
Because
like
they've got the
I'm-
liger.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, there's something to do with.
It's maybe like the
feline
only other
animals.
one.
But then they're all in the same. Now, I can't remember science very well, but you know how there's like the genus and there's the blah, 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 blah. Like horses and donkeys are in the same, whatever the family above horse and donkey is. And lions and tigers are in both
And bears are mine.
feline.
Right?
The pussycats, basically.
Yeah. And
Big old pussycats.
like, so the ones that can do that are all in, I just can't remember the word. So it's like, surely we wouldn't be able to. But then if we could, it's like, well, maybe these aliens and us are actually related.
Maybe.
Because in terms of our evolution, there's evidence that the different,
You're talking
levels of
like,
humanity have interbred.
What's that? What's the book called?
The spaghetti monster.
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Not at all. What the hell is that? It's about like God being like off from a different planet.
Yeah.
Chariots of the Gods.
Chariots of the Gods. That's the one. And
That
there's
is
probably more recent books as well. But that one's
loosely
good.
adapted into AVP.
Yeah.
Alien vs Predator.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Which is actually a fairly decent film made by Paul W.S. Anderson compared to his later Resident Evil films.
I was going to say, it's not that good, but okay, by comparison.
By comparison. But then again, by comparison, Event Horizon is amazing.
I like Event Horizon.
But then by comparison to Sunshine, Event Horizon isn't very good.
It's true.
Sunshine's pretty good.
By comparison,
Oh my
this
god.
podcast is amazing.
This is the next hour.
By comparison to nothing, it is amazing. By comparison to the RT podcast, it is bullshit.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
that's man.
I was just listening to them today. That's all.
I like them.
I was thinking about like segments of like what could we do on the podcast for segments
Rather than just sit here talking for...
besides just doing like here's the scoreboard. What have we been playing? What have we been watching? And then sometimes like updates about the channel.
Yeah.
Johnny or Google.
I like the lack of form.
I forgot the rule. I totally forgot. That's the other thing. We've always got the rule for the podcast, the
What
meta
was-
rule. And
What's
this
the
rule, this episode's rule is there are no
Oh.
rules. Ooh,
David,
Well
stop
played.
touching.
anything could happen. Like that
Just
means
because
like
there's no rules doesn't mean there's still law. As he touched me.
no, there isn't. Like that's the idea. No rules.
The rule is that there are no rules.
We are
you
in a-
can't be
this
trying to enforce
room
no rules.
Is in a
Johnny.
bubble. Like in theory, if any crimes were to occur, like that's in the past.
Michael has...
There's this time dilation.
oh, I thought you just declared
manipulation?
independence so that,
Oh, I saw like a current affair, like talking about there is like some group in Australia trying to
There
like
was someone who
claim
tried to declare
independence.
their land independent so they wouldn't have to pay tax on it. But I think that's probably
this looked like a kind of cult where it was like they're all wearing like just like white long robes and
Oh,
like
yeah.
dancing and
It's
stuff.
not the KKK.
No, not like the KKK.
Except
not
not
that kind of.
racist?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Actually, there might be, but probably.
Without the hoods, basically.
less hoods.
They're
And if they did
masked
have hoods, they'd probably
KKK.
have holes that were correctly cut.
Yeah, so I was thinking, why don't we take it a bit meta and just talk about like what we want to do with the podcast? Like
Ooh.
have a bit of a meeting.
I like the idea
feel-
of there being a meta part of the podcast.
I was thinking like maybe we could be like, this is a podcast where once a month we review an episode of a different podcast.
Ooh, interesting idea.
Mm.
I like that. Like I've been listening to quite a few podcasts that have started doing this, where they do like video game book clubs.
Let's all go play this game and then talk about
They're
it.
like, let's play this game, and then after, and like a lot of them have been centered around like the PlayStation free games for the month and stuff. Like I know 2 of them that do for the PlayStation free games.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, there's like 10 million plus people that have access to a PS4.
Yeah.
That are getting this game for free. Compared to like the more sort of
the
expensive
less
games
people
that
who have
come out.
Xboxes. Sorry.
You know what?
There's still like 10 million
I feel
plus
like a good
people who have
rule-
Xbox Ones.
A good rule would be
There's 10 million plus people who have Wii U's.
really.
Yeah, like they've just
You're rolling
they've just
with
been
raw
out for a
numbers, though.
couple of years longer. That just came out like yesterday. The 10 million unit sold sort of thing.
I think a good rule is every time David's mean to me, he takes a shot.
We're not playing a drug.
We're not in prison. This isn't Orange is the New Black.
That's a great show.
That is a great show.
Finished it.
Can't say good enough stuff. Have you finished season 3?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
Did you like it?
I did.
Did you finish season 3?
Yeah, I
Sad.
watched it like the
Sweet.
first 3
I'm
days.
just sad that it's over.
What do you mean it's over? That
Like-
the
like
season's
the
over?
Sad that I finished
over.
the season.
Yeah.
But they already started filming the new one, so I'm,
I'm
just
sure
like,
they did. Like it'll be out again.
I have no idea how.
the
I
next
feel like
year.
they must have started to stray massively from the source material.
What
Oh,
sort of
they have.
material?
Well, it was
it's
based on the
based
book
on
by
the-
Piper Kerman.
Oh.
the main chick is in
Like,
a
that's-
real person.
It's based on her memoirs.
Like legit memoirs
Yeah,
about
yeah,
her
yeah.
being
well,
in
this is
prison.
the thing. A lot of people question the legitimacy of her memoirs themselves.
I don't say legit as in like legitimate. I say legit as in like, oh, for real?
Yeah. Oh,
For
sorry.
real?
Yeah.
She
no.
did that?
She wrote
She
some
wrote it?
memoirs about her time in prison and sold them to the show. And as always happens when that sort of thing happens,
Yeah,
everyone's
they always
like,
stray from
oh,
it.
how real are they? But now they've strayed in
Oh,
from
yes.
that, I would
And
guess.
how real are they,
because this latest season, most of the characters have changed a lot,
Yes.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
Big Boo. Who knew? Who knew?
I feel
Amazing.
like that's just that just goes to show like how good the show is of like I forgot that going back into the season that it was like, oh yeah, that's right, we have like an episode for every character and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And characters that I like were indifferent about in season 1 and then in season 2 I was like, nah, I really don't like these people. These are the ones I really don't like.
Pensatucky. I
Yeah.
could not stand Pensatucky.
And
And,
then
then you just, she's
You're
so
like,
good.
holy shit. They totally turn it around. And I like it's really good writing. And I love watching a show and you're like, yeah, each season keeps getting better.
Yeah.
You know what was
Just legitimately 100% just like, yep, that is like, yeah,
The
scorably,
only thing I
notably
will say
better.
is that Piper is actually getting worse.
yeah,
No, I
she
think
just
she's
got
getting
annoying.
better. I feel like she wasn't the main character in season 2. Like she had no screen time and nothing was going on with her.
And then this season, there's not a lot going on.
I
either.
loved her plot line of the
Well, no, it just
the
made her a
underpants
background
things.
character. No, I can't ruin what happens at the very end, but like I love what she does in the final episode.
You know what?
Okay.
It's really good writing, and the best incident in which the writing was when it was Crazy Eyes, where she turns around and says, "Why do they call me Crazy Eyes?" Because you feel really like, oh, this girl's so
that's
crazy
because
and stuff
that
like that.
actress is stunning.
And then as soon as she says that, you're like, wow, I feel like a dick.
I've
You know what I
loved
mean?
Crazy Eyes since day one though, because the actress does a
Oh, she does
stunning
a great job, but then you're like, kind of like, you think like, oh, you know, she's so crazy and blah blah blah. But when it's like, why do they call me Crazy Eyes? You just have like this whole new level of respect.
Actually, that was the other thing that I think really works in season 3 is that there is no bad guy.
I've really enjoyed how stupidly incompetent the corporation are
Yes,
that run the thing.
like beyond.
And they're like, what about, and he's just like, what about this? And they're like, oh yeah, we didn't even think about that. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't even contemplate that about these prisoners that are in here for a reason. And they're like, why should we have to like help their rehabilitation? It's like, because you're a prison. That's what you're supposed to do.
But we don't care about that. We just care about the next quarter. It's like, but you're a prison. People are here for years.
And they're like, no, because our CEO is going to sell this like business and be the CEO of a different corporation by next quarter. So that's
It's like,
their
but
problem.
the corporation itself will still exist.
Yeah.
Why are you only thinking about the CEO?
What's the what is it, like the assistant dean or whatever it is? Not dean.
What?
Animal house
the
warden.
warden? But he changed his name to Director of Human Resources or something.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
it is. What's his name again? I forget his.
I can't remember
No.
now.
He like
So pathetic.
he's great this season.
Oh, you mean Caputo?
Caputo.
Yeah, Caputo is so good.
Yeah, Caputo's so good.
I got sad.
It's
in his-
really
in
sad.
His episode.
His episode
Oh,
is really
yeah.
sad because it's like he has been doing like he is the good guy, been like caring for so long, and he's been hurt so many times that like finally like they want to champion him for like unionizing
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and like this is the situation where it's like no, but this is where they actually want you, and you're not just doing this.
Yeah.
and you know she's gonna like piss off and like date the guy that like is in the
Oh.
band now who is successful.
So
Even though that you
angry.
started it and you're not successful in the band because you stayed to like
Because you stayed. Because you cared.
to
Oh.
raise that dude's baby, and the fact that she doesn't like you is because that you're not successful and he is. It's
Yeah.
like that's like the biggest paradox. But it's like these people actually like want him and need his help, and he just like turns it down because he's like, no, I've got to do something for me this time, and you're like, oh no,
The one time you would have been appreciated.
the one time, yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Oh, so good.
So good. I love the wardens, the prison guards, the husband and wife.
Oh, they're not married.
They're not
Yeah,
married.
they're just brother. They're not brothers.
They're
not
together.
brother and
Boyfriend
sister.
and
They're
girlfriend.
together,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
their relationship happens on
They're
screen.
great.
And they're so sweet.
I love that scene where they're in the donut place.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
Red
he like has that
Velvet.
rant about red velvet. That's so funny because red velvet is bullshit.
Uh,
It was funny that like yeah, then the that guy like went and became
Oh, God.
another guard.
Yeah. And that whole thing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving
was
away
brutal.
from that, but to something else that was on Netflix.
Yes.
Have either of you heard of the film Pontypool?
No,
No.
but you told us you wanted to talk about
I
it.
told you I wanted to talk about it, and I just remembered it.
What's the Pontypool?
So, Pontypool. It's an older film, so I feel it's worth talking about. In that
How
wonderful way that like Netflix allows you to find older films you probably wouldn't have watched otherwise.
Yeah, for sure.
How old are we talking here, though?
It's 2008 or 9. Like
That's
not
not so
old,
So not crazy old.
but you know, that's older than anything you might be talking about because you've watched it recently and it's not a big film.
So it's not recent, but it's
Yeah.
not old.
Like smaller films from 8 years ago that you
Ooh,
didn't see
I
at the
just
time.
remembered I watched another. Yep,
Yep,
keep
you-
going.
all right. No, great.
I've got another movie to keep going on with the Netflix roll afterwards.
Oh, we just need to get
This
Netflix
episode
on
is
the,
brought
on the
to you by
payroll.
Netflix.
Yeah. So Pontypool is the name of this.
I'll talk
town.
to Steven, our producer, and see if it can happen.
Oh, okay. Get Steve on it. He's good at that sort of
Who's
stuff. Actually,
Steve?
cold calling.
I believe he is the executive producer of Netflix.
He's done work with them anyway. So Pontypool.
Pontypool.
It's amazing because it's set in a radio station during a zombie apocalypse,
Cool.
and the
I
radio
like
station's
the premise.
name is. Oh no, it's gone. Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, David.
The Beacon. There we go.
Oh, that's a good name.
And
So much better
the
than
guy
Pontypool.
who's like he's a shock jock from the city
Cool.
who went too far, got fired, and's now ended up in this shitty small town, and is still trying to be a shock jock. But that's not what they want him to be like good, but not to be a shock jock. So he comes in, he's doing his whole shock
Right, so
jock
this
thing.
is zombie apocalypse, but there is still like some sort of government
Well,
running
no,
business.
the apocalypse happens while he's doing
while
his
it's
show,
happening.
and so it's that perfect thing of low budget where there's very little zombie activity going on screen.
Yeah, love it. Good stuff. Because there's been like a just oversaturation of zombie stuff.
Yeah.
Especially in games more than movies, but movies as well.
This is really well done because he's broadcasting. He's got a great radio voice. There's like his producer and the tech, and those are the only staff in the radio station. Him and them. That's it. And they're just talking to each other on and off air about what's going on because he's like trying to make it interesting, and then they get calls in from the police about things going on,
Mhm.
and it progresses to the point that they obviously are then attacked by the zombies and everything happens.
Cool.
Blah 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 blah. And then it's got a downer ending. But
Why is it called Pontypool?
That's the name of the town.
Oh, okay.
But it's brilliant, and I recommend you watch it. You just really good all the way through.
I will. I'll check it out tomorrow.
See,
it's on Netflix.
I'll watch that tonight because my internet resets at 12 o'clock because I went over it this month.
I haven't done that in years.
I told you.
I had a terabyte a month
I told you, but it's NBN. You could use up a terabyte in a day if you
Oh,
wanted.
that's frightening.
because I forgot I left my work computer on and everything was backing up. And I only thought it was 500 gigabytes and it ended up being more than a terabyte.
I hate you
That's what
for
you
having NBN. I just want to say that.
I also hate you for
And then-
having like a
and then when I
Mac with
move out-
iCloud, and so then you like come onto my podcast and complain about like Apple problems.
Yeah.
And then pardon? And then you move out.
And then when I move out, I'm moving back with my parents because that's what I do. And they're going to have NBN.
Do you want us to continue to like criticize you and insult you?
I was going to say, do you want to get us to continue being your loving friends?
No. It wasn't a threat.
What
like,
was the
oh,
loving part?
you're going to be gone. It's just like, you wonder why we pick on you when you're like, I've got NBN and then I'm going to move and I'm going to have NBN again. Where I was like, I've got ADSL2 Plus. I'm supposed to be getting NBN at my place. It was supposed to be in 6 months ago. Oh, they're starting to lay cable now. I move to another new place that has ADSL2 and doesn't have NBN.
And is unlikely to get it anytime soon.
And is very unlikely to get it anytime soon. But yeah, so Netflix, I watched in preparation for. Have you guys seen the next? I think it's the next Netflix original series coming out, Wet Hot American Summer, First Day of Camp.
Yep, seen the
Yes.
movie. Yep.
So I didn't know it was based on a movie, but then I just heard about it through probably podcasts, internet, and I was like, oh, cool, it was a movie first. I'll watch it. it's on Netflix, obviously, because Netflix bought the
Yeah.
rights to
Rights,
make
yeah.
the show. So the movie's on there. Watched it, fucking loved it. It's awesome, really funny. It's got like similar kind of crew from like the Judd Apatow kind of stuff, like a lot of
Yeah.
those kind of people,
Yep.
but it's not a Judd Apatow film.
I haven't seen it, so
But
It's like
Johnny,
Paul Rudd and
Johnny has-
stuff. It's
yeah, Paul
it's,
Rudd.
It's funny, but
It-
then there's some bits
is-
where it's just
it's
like,
a-
this is really ridiculous.
No, but that's why it's funny.
But it's funny. It's still funny. Like,
That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's this crazy parody. So it
Do you know that
is
this-
supposed to be like in the 1980s, and it looks like it's been made in the 1980s, but it's a 2001 film.
and
Um,
in the
and
series,
it's-
I think it's like 20 years later.
No.
Not 20 years later, sorry,
no,
10
no.
years later.
No. It's no,
No, I meant like since they've made the movie, but
it-
they're acting like it's 1 year later.
no.
No?
You're still wrong, Johnny.
I'm just
calm down.
gonna say what everyone's thinking. Shut up, Johnny.
Should
You
be-
just had to fill your quota of telling him to shut up.
No, I was just thinking you should shut up so that you could actually explain it rather than him just getting
So,
it wrong.
Wet Hot American
Okay.
Summer. It is the set at the last day of camp, of the summer camp. And it took me a while to realize that because there's all these like really young kids, and then there's like all the different groups like arts and crafts, and some of them are going kayak canoeing or whatever, or river rafting, and some of them are like playing softball or whatever and stuff. And there's people like Paul Rudd and stuff. And I think, oh yeah, they're like camp leader guys. Like they're like he's like that group leader, like that bunk hut. He's like the adult leader for them.
understand, yeah.
And it's like, no, all of them are the 16-year-olders. And then there's all the 12-year-olders. But all the 16-year-olds, they're played by like adults.
Yeah.
Legit adults, and they're all like trying to get laid on the last day of camp and different things like that. And I really like Paul Rudd's performance because it's so different than anything Paul Rudd. Like he's just like this really sarcastic douchebag of a person for like no reason. It's like he's got like this girlfriend that's just like fucking in love with him, and she like wants to make out with him all the time, and like she's always like just like trying to sleep with him, and he's like, oh, fuck off, just like really like angsty and stupid for no reason. Very funny movie, very entertaining. It's got lots, just gigantic cast of like, you know, like 15 to 20 people.
Yeah.
And it just keeps getting like more outrageous, like scene
Oh.
to scene.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
Yeah, I know, Johnny. I was getting to that. You didn't need to look it up.
Thanks, Johnny.
So, also, you know what year we're in, don't you? Because I said that it was a 2001 movie.
Yeah,
So
I know.
it's not 10 years later.
It's 14.
14 years later, and it is set. It is supposed to be the first day of that summer camp instead of the last day.
Oh.
But they're all much older, but they don't give a shit. And you've got some new people in it, like Kirsten Wiig wasn't in the original cast, but she's in it, which is very fitting because she just would fit in with all the rest of them.
But I hope that they have her leave before the end of the TV show.
Oh, there will be
yeah,
a reason
they will.
why. Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. They'll have thought of that. The
So-
bloke from Bob's Burgers is in it.
Yeah.
Oh, the actual actor.
He was the voice of Detective Stapler from Law and Order SVU.
No.
He is the lead investigator in SVU.
Oh,
And he is the chef or the
nice.
cook of the camp.
Yeah.
And he's like always like, I was in Vietnam. And he's like got all this post-traumatic stress. And he's got all these weird sexual things that he says. And then he like makes up. He's like, no, I didn't say that. I said this, and it rhymes or whatever.
Bradley Cooper is in it.
Bradley Cooper is in it, but that's not what I'm talking about, Johnny.
Okay.
It's
Get
you're-
off your
it's like,
phone,
It's
off
like
your
you're somewhere
Wikipedia.
else, and you just
You
like,
are.
I'm
You're
intoxicated still.
You're just several beats behind. Fairly enough, you have had like 8 shots.
I've had 8 shots in the space of what?
Ish.
8-ish?
yeah, like 2 hours ago.
It wasn't 2 hours ago. It was 30 minutes ago. It
An hour ago.
was an hour
We've
ago.
been doing this.
We've
for a
been
while.
recording for 58 minutes.
It was an hour ago.
So he's got all this post-traumatic stress and stuff, and he is talking to a can of mixed vegetables. And the can is a little puppet where it's like its little thing
That's
moves.
amazing.
And it is like, Bob, the guy who voices Bob and Archer and stuff, which I don't think I've seen him in like anything that's like that old.
No,
But then in this show, he is like one of the camp leader guys now. and he's like live action in it.
Interesting.
Yeah, but there's just all sorts of ridiculous, stupid stuff, and it's fucking hilarious. Like,
His roles changed in a prequel.
because he was a voice actor in the first one, so it's
Okay.
it's okay. He can like be in it for
He
real.
was still in it live action in the first one, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't. He was the can.
Yeah, but I'm sure he was a camp leader in the first movie as well.
Nope, you're mistaken.
I'm gonna Google this.
The movie, not the first movie, because this isn't the second film.
And we don't have time travel.
I think this is the Netflix series that is actually releasing one episode per week and not a whole season.
They're doing
at
that with a
once.
couple of shows. There's another
they?
one on there that they're doing that with. What is it? Can't remember what it's called. I'm not watching it, so that's it.
So it doesn't matter. Just again, like Netflix have just been knocking it out of the park this year with original series. Like every
So
month,
much.
it's like there's 2 seasons of something coming out.
They're just so good.
Like BoJack Horseman season 2's come out. I haven't had a chance to watch that yet.
I only just finished the first season, watched the Christmas special.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How good
yeah.
is BoJack Horseman?
I love it.
How good are like the couple, like just the hilarious little reminders every once in a while that they're animals?
Yes.
You just totally forget about it because it's just like, yeah, it's just like animal heads walking around on human bodies
Watching it.
and stuff. But then every once in a while, they bring it back to like these animals behaving like the animal
Yeah.
that they're supposed to be. And it's fucking hilarious each time.
I would really, really like them to do a spin-off show of I've forgotten what the name of his show was.
Oh, horsing around.
Around. Yeah.
I feel like it would get pretty boring pretty fast.
No, but they're not full-length episodes. They're not 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They're like 5 minutes.
That's kind of what the Christmas special was.
Yeah, and
It was them.
I really enjoyed it, so I'd like them to do that again, basically.
But I still just feel like watching old sitcoms like that is so tiring. And like, you can't, like, even if it's one that you loved and you're like, oh, this is so good, I'm going to go back and watch it. You just watch like one episode of The Nanny and you're like,
Yeah, but I've never liked the Nanny.
okay, you never liked The Nanny. That's fine. I'm not super fond of The Nanny either.
That's a bad example.
I was just thinking that's one of the only ones that I can kind of think of that I actually watched.
It's probably similar to what
It's more
Horsing Around's supposed
90s,
to have
isn't it?
been.
But
Um,
for me to actually have watched it
but
when I
if
was
they
around.
did that
But-
thing where they combine
But
all of those shows,
you watch a few more episodes and you're like, okay, so every single episode of this sitcom is just like the same and none
But
of them are good.
If they were to do it as a spin-off show, they could go, well, let's do either each episode or like parts of the episode that are homaging different 90 shows.
Yeah, that could be good.
I'll
It
keep
would. I think
fresh.
the writing would have to be like it would be.
It'd have to be nailed, but it has been.
It would be
so-
it has been nailed. I think it would just be harder to write to do that format than what they do at the moment, where they have more freedom to just do whatever they want.
True.
So I have a rant about old TV shows.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember when we started getting more free to air things like Gem and Go?
Yes.
And then they realize they don't have enough TV to play, so they'll start playing like old retro TV on those channels.
Yep.
Mhm.
And at first you're like, this is great.
And then they.
And then you
playing it.
realize that like every old TV show is shit as, and everything your parents talked about, like them loving that show, is like, no, that show was totally shit and repetitive and boring. And you just have fond memories of it because there was no good TV back then. But like everything like I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, MASH, Charlie's Angels.
I have a soft spot for Matt.
I know a lot of people like. I think I don't get MASH. I think a lot of people like love MASH.
Yeah,
and like
MASH is pretty
and
good.
watch
But
like
I
have
agree
box
with you on
sets.
all the others.
But like yeah, that shit like Charlie's Angels and like the original Mission Impossible show.
horrible.
All of those shows
The
are
A-Team?
horrible and boring.
Yeah. And
Like
repetitive.
Dukes of Hazzard.
I think what makes like just to say like MASH is good because it's not really about the show. Like it's a bunch of comedic actors interacting with each other, and it's well done. Whereas all those other shows that aren't comedies or are comedies, but they're very heavily scripted comedies, like I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah. Gilligan's Island.
Yeah,
Horrible.
disgraceful.
It's just unwatchable. Even like season 1 of the Flintstones, it's batshit boring. So dull. Like Like, it's a little bit different when you're watching it week to week comparing to like having the DVD and trying to watch it all at once. But like, they're pretty short episodes,
Hmm.
and they're really boring and dull.
The Flintstones, sorry, the Jetsons is not too bad.
I feel like both the Jetsons and the Flintstones, like just the later seasons, are better. I'm
Yeah.
not sure whether the Jetsons started later than Flintstones as well.
Did, yes.
Like, I felt like it was a couple of years later as well.
Although that crossover is stupid.
Flintstones meet the Jetsons.
Yeah. Where it turns out that they just lived on the ground.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's not time travel. They're just
Yeah.
they're just there the whole time.
Because everybody just lives in the sky in the Jetsons, and then your fly little spaceship turns into a briefcase,
Yeah.
and you slot it into your parking slot.
Which never happens in any of the episodes.
No, only in the film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, because I think I watched I think we had the movie recorded on tape, and I watched that a lot.
Oh.
But yeah, really not high quality at all of any of that stuff. Felt like I had something to. I haven't watched the original Batman series.
It's pretty great.
I've seen the original movie, and that's like I
The
grew up
Mask
watching
of
that,
Phantom
and,
thing?
and it's awesome. What?
Mask of Phantom or something? Is that what it is?
Batman.
Yeah, Batman.
It's called Batman the movie.
There's a Batman Mask of Phantom animated one as well.
I'm not talking about the animated series.
Are we
Johnny.
talking about?
We're talking about the Adam West 1960s Batman show.
Then I've never watched any.
Remember
of that.
how we're talking about all those old TV shows?
Yeah, well, we're talking about
Those old TV
cartoons
shows.
before.
No, we were talking about
Which
old TV
are
shows.
old
from,
TV shows.
from the
With-
60s.
With the Adam West
and,
TV
like,
show,
70s
I
and stuff.
watched it a lot when we had Foxtel as kids.
Yeah.
As a child, I should say. They weren't, I was the only child in the house.
Yes.
And some were quite good,
Uh-huh.
and some were really, really not good.
Shit.
Okay.
Like, it's like anime or something like that, where there were just filler episodes where it's like, oh, it's the bookworm. And
Well,
it's-
I have heard that they did like they like it's like a different villain all the time, and they just really ran out of villains.
they really did.
I
But then
know
they
that
bring
there
back
was-
like a solid villain, like the Riddler and the Joker. and
Two-Face
all-
was gonna
all the
be a
classics
villain.
Are really good.
Two-Face was going to be played by Clint Eastwood,
That would have been.
but
good.
then like it was like the episode before, like they like got cancelled or something like that, or stopped
Aw.
making it.
how did
um,
they take so long to get to Two Face?
I know, right? It's crazy.
I saw one episode with the Penguin, and you know how like everyone gets beaten up
yes,
and
with
then
the comic book style.
with the comic book style,
Huh?
and then at the end everyone started dancing, and I'm like, I'm done.
You sure everybody started dancing at the end?
Yes.
Or are you just thinking of like that
everyone was
parody
dancing.
of-
No, everyone was dancing at the end. I
Okay.
remember. I was like, this fucking sucks.
All right.
They were in a warehouse.
Because I was like, that's been done so many times on like Family Guy and The
No.
Simpsons. Will they do
There
it?
were like 10 boxes. There was Catwoman. They all started dancing. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought this was a parody. I was so.
The
It is.
show is
The-
a parody.
the whole
That is
show
the
is a
point.
joke.
I know,
is
but I
never
didn't think it
supposed
was
to
to
be
that
serious.
level.
I love the movie. I love Batman the movie. It's so good. I like.
Is that the one with the shark?
yes.
Yes,
Cool.
and that is the one with Catwoman, Penguin, the Riddler, and the Joker all team up.
It's that film.
That's excellent.
It's funny. I saw
I'm just-
that film
like,
and
I haven't
hated
seen-
it
I
as a
haven't-
child. but
haven't seen
watching
the
it as an
show.
adult, I get it.
I can imagine that like not all of the episodes are up to the standard of that movie. The audio commentary done by Adam West and
Ooh,
I
bet
forget
that would be good.
forget what the Robin guy who played Robin's name is.
No one knows.
He didn't age well.
That is a hilarious audio commentary. It's really funny and really interesting because they talk about that stuff like Clint Eastwood and yeah, having how like the movie was basically just them like shooting several episodes of the TV show at once. Like they had no time off from it at all.
That's cool.
And yeah, but like Adam West has like a really modern sense of humor where you're like, wow, this is like it was done more recently, like in the past 10 years or something like that for the DVD release. And so like it's the two of them now watching it and they're just like, it's like he's like doing like a riff track of his own movie when they're doing like the opening credits and it's like the spotlight on like the
Yeah.
brick wall and stuff. He's just making some hilarious comments that's like right on point with like a modern sense of humor. That's like, it sort of makes sense why they put him in Family Guy and stuff,
Yeah.
even though I don't think Family Guy's been funny for quite a while.
I think everyone in the world agrees that Family Guy
Probably.
has been funny for a long
Although
time.
American
Sure.
Dad just keeps getting better and better with every season.
some people hate Roger because he's become an exaggeration of Roger. And I kind of... I
No,
feel
Roger
fine.
was the one that in the first season he wasn't super well thought out.
No, he got good, but then... And look, it's an episode-to-episode thing whether or not I like him. Like some episodes...
I feel like for most
the
part,
character thing works really well.
they've been doing it. I
and
like
other ones you're like...
them embracing the
"Ah."
character thing's been really good, I think, for a lot of it.
Yeah, for a lot of it. Not all of it. That's what I'm
Especially
saying.
when they do like the pan across and it's like him
Yeah.
there, where he's like, I know a guy, and then you get there and it's him.
Yeah.
But it keeps going back and forwards. So those are old crappy shows that are all live action. I think those are all the big ones I can remember. I can't think of any
I'm
others.
sure there are loads of others.
I feel like there's something else like Charlie's Angels.
Hello, ladies.
I don't know. There's like the Bionic Man and stuff.
See, there's also the same era of British TV where you've got like the Avengers. And
Don't know it.
I still like those.
Have you seen the movie for that? I've only seen the movie. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Then there was the new Avengers.
And we're not talking about Captain America.
Yeah, we're not talking about Marvel, are we?
I'm not.
No. We're talking
No.
about spies.
Okay, so Johnny is talking about the right thing.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
suddenly got concerned halfway through that he was trying to make a joke and I hadn't got it. So it's
No.
That's cool.
No,
So-
no, I was actually being serious.
good. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know any of that.
With Patrick
British.
McNee and Diana Rigg. Diana
Yeah,
Rigg,
yeah.
who's in Game of Thrones now as mother of the Queen.
Yeah. Have you seen the photo of her from the age that she was, the same age as, who's her name? Her granddaughter.
Natalie Dormer.
Yeah, Natalie Dormer. They look so alike. Like, they look like relatives.
Yeah, because I've
at the
seen
same
her in
time.
the Avengers when she was about
Yeah.
that age.
Natalie Dormer is attractive.
Thank you, Johnny, for that interjection.
She's got a lot of sass.
She does.
She's always got sassy, like,
Anyone seen the photo
expressions.
of her in a certain pose? And there's a photo of Lola Bunny from Space Jam. They look really much alike.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
I think Lola Bunny just looks like all women if you want her to.
No, I
No.
disagree.
It's the way her hair was and everything, and like facial expression. It was like
I would say the
very
way,
alike.
like, her lips were probably
yeah,
doing the same expression.
it was basically
can
very,
imagine
like
it.
it wasn't just like
so vividly. To
gonna
bring it back, do you know what was good? Like fucking forever, like all of it's awesome. Looney Tunes cartoons, they're awesome. I remember like being on school holidays and they would like play them all day long, and you're like, all of these are good.
I didn't like them as a child.
You didn't like them as a child?
I didn't mind
Whereas
them.
as a child, I could watch Scooby Doo all day. Still can. I
But
love Scooby Doo.
it's so boring. And
That's
every
what I like
episode is
about it.
exactly the same. It's like watching Roger Ramjet.
But
or like Bat.
I get a
Fink.
weird
Is it
pleasure.
Batfink?
What? But with I don't know. I get a weird pleasure out of Scooby Doo because I try to work out how like the different episodes, like what they've reused.
Yeah, because it is like literally like reusing cells
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
other episodes.
It's like, oh, which bits have been drawn for this episode?
See, my favorite show was Batman Animated Adventure or series.
As in the really
Yeah, but we're not
gothic
talk-
style one from the 90s.
Yeah,
Did you
Yeah,
ever
and
see
that
the
is
Superman that was of the same
Largely
style?
critically acclaimed, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah,
We're
is it
talking
the
about
Superman
old,
one?
old school
There's a
ones.
Superman in the same style.
is it?
Yeah.
I've heard about that.
It's not
I know
as-
that,
it's not as
um,
good, but it's better than any Superman.
You know
movie.
Josh from uni. He's got a lot of the animated cells from Batman.
Nobody knows who that
He's
is.
got a lot of them.
Like a number of them, like
Wow.
4 or
Multitude.
5.
I would like one of those. Where does he live?
You'd be. It would just be really unfortunate if he got
If
robbed.
just something happened, all
And you're
of a
making a
sudden-
joke. But that's okay because I made that joke.
Yeah, so
Nobody-
it's covered up. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
that's
moved
sort of
over.
like dusts it under the cover. That it's
It'd be
like,
even
oh.
worse if then I went out and bought one, like on the internet. It was the same as what went missing.
It would be even worse if I forgot to edit out this part where we're explaining how we're planning
To
on
break
stealing
in.
a frame from Batman the Animated Series from someone that nobody listening to this podcast knows.
Yes.
Like they don't know who that is.
but we know who he is, and is making a story.
no,
So it's okay.
it's not.
The,
Going back to my rant, the point I was trying to make is that why is TV, live action TV from that era, like batshit boring, where like Looney Tunes cartoons are actually like entertaining and like there is more variation between Looney Tunes cartoons than there are episodes of Charlie's Angels, and the Looney Tunes cartoons are hand animated.
I think it's because
And the Charlie's Angels are live action. Like, in theory, that should be way fucking easier to do.
I think it's because cartoons, there's no limit. It's just your imagination is the limit. While with live action, they were still trying to figure out how to do shit and like make it accessible for 30 minutes.
I think actually it probably comes down to what people want in TV.
I think like a lot of it was like they were just like,
If you're aiming at children, you can do what you want with it. Whereas people who watch TV actually kind of watch it for it to be the same.
yeah.
When they're adults, they want
And it always
a
used to be.
reassuring thing.
And it's like when Paul Figg's talking about Other Space that he released on Yahoo, and how it's like he wanted to do this, like he wanted to do a progressive show, and everyone was like, "Oh no, it has to be the same every episode because, or like it can't have a plot line because no one, like if someone misses an episode, they'll be behind, and we don't want that." So it was that thing where it's like, "Oh yeah, every episode is just freestanding. It's basically just the same thing over and over again." And he's like, "Isn't that fucking hilarious that now that all the most popular shows are like True Detective, Game of Thrones,
And you need to
Breaking
have seen all
Bad.
of the episodes. But it's because of streaming that you can do that now.
yeah." I hate it when people like bitch about shows all coming out at once in one season. Like, it's bad. It's just like, just watch it one episode at a time.
That's what I do.
I'm still
How sober are you
intoxicated.
guid feeling?
I'm still
I'm
intoxicated.
pretty sober. But then I stopped drinking ages
Do you
ago.
guys want to watch Batman the movie?
I want to eat something.
Do you want to eat something and watch Batman the movie?
Oh,
Yeah, I still got to show you guys a video first.
I might go.
Nobody wants to watch that video, Johnny. People want to stop listening to this podcast. And you can do that by just letting the audio track run out because
We're basically finishing, right?
we're basically finishing. I'm in the midst of wrapping up
That's good.
right now.
My mind is losing concentration.
I will formally get to it very shortly by saying
I think.
thank you very much for watching this slightly less, like slightly off the rails version of the podcast.
The less sober of podcasts.
Yes, the anti-sober podcast. But yeah, actually, thank you for listening.
you made it this
We
far,
are
thank you.
on SoundCloud. You can search the METAcast. We're on YouTube. You can search METAgames. We're on Facebook. We are METAgames AU. Have a look at our page. Like, you know, for all those people dying to get a hard play shower curtain, I will post the link to in the Facebook page for that shower curtain. So
And then
all
take
your
a
dreams
photo
can
with
come true. Pardon?
Take a photo with it. That'd be fantastic.
I didn't buy one myself.
No, I'm saying if someone buys it, take a photo with it.
I'm sure they will do that. I'm
Then
sure
it can
someone
be
will
like-
buy one and then they will take a photo of it.
And they'll be like,
I'm
"We're
sure.
such-
I'm
we're
sure
such
both
big
of those things will
fans.
happen.
We're such big fans. We took a photo of it because we're so excited. We want you guys to see it. We want you to be happy about it. And we will be happy about it.
But in all sincerity, yes, that would be awesome. That would
If
that would make me
anyone
very
posted
happy.
it doesn't even have to be a shower curtain. If someone's like, hey, I bought a phone case or a pillow.
Don't tell them that those things are available. I'm going to be rolling them out really, really slowly. As very ridiculously copy-paste jokes like the one I just made about the hard play shower curtain.
My bad. Ruined like 6 weeks worth of jokes.
That's right. I'll just edit you out of this whole podcast.
It's not the first time this has happened.
No, that was more like I edited you into the podcast.
Did I?
No, because you weren't being recorded. So it's like,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I like pumped you up in Alistair's mic
Mike, yeah, that
to
was the
like
thing.
bring you in.
Good times.
Good times. Great classic hits. Gold 104 FM.